What is this foul, wretched beast my sister came across today? She stumbled upon his repulsive existence in the northwest United States. It is a pocket gopher. Pocket gophers are burrowing rodents known for their extensive tunneling activities, which can cause damage to farms and gardens. They are named for their large, fur-lined cheek pouches, or pockets, which they use to carry food. While the original poster might find them repulsive, they are a common and natural part of the ecosystem in many parts of North and Central America. What is this melody? I'm sure you already heard it. The melody is from Tchaikovsky's famous ballet, Swan Lake. Specifically, it is the Dance of the Little Swans, Danse des Petits Cygnes. It is one of the most well-known and beloved pieces of classical music in the world. The music accompanies a famous dance in the ballet where 4 dancers, with their arms linked, perform intricate and synchronized footwork, mimicking the movements of young swans. Found this while clearing out my garden. I don't know if it is alive or dead, or waste from a creature. At first, I thought it was the biggest slug I'd ever seen. This looks like an egg casing from a praying mantis, which is called an Uthaka. The female praying mantis lays her eggs in a frothy foam that she secretes, which then hardens into this tough, styrofoam-like protective case. This Uthaka protects the eggs over the winter. In the spring, dozens or even hundreds of tiny praying mantis nymphs will hatch from this single egg case. Praying mantises are beneficial insects that eat pests, so it is a great find for your garden and should be left undisturbed. What is this bathroom hardware piece for? It came with a sink from Facebook Marketplace, along with a towel hook and rod. There are 2 of them. It clearly goes on the wall, but what's it for? These are brackets for a glass shelf. The set you got likely originally included a narrow piece of glass, about 1/4 of an inch thick, which has since been lost or broken. These 2 brackets would be mounted on the wall. The piece of glass would then be slid into the slot in the brackets and secured, creating a small shelf for holding toiletries like a toothbrush holder or a soap dish above the sink. Found inside my grandparents' jewelry box. Feels like a rock, but looks like a tooth. Grandparents are from the 40s. No idea if I'm to wear it or pocket it as a lucky charm. It looks like a gold dental crown. A crown is a type of dental restoration that completely caps or encircles a tooth. In the past, especially before modern ceramics became common, crowns for back teeth were often made from a gold alloy, which is very strong and durable. It's possible one of your grandparents had this crown fall off their tooth or had the tooth extracted, and they simply kept the valuable gold crown in their jewelry box. The commenter's dark joke about where it came from is probably not true. Found this inside my t-shirt. It says, "Remove before wearing." I am assuming it's for anti-theft purposes, some sort of RFID tag, but I don't know the exact purpose and why they are asking me to remove it. This is a security tag. Specifically, it looks like a disposable soft electronic article surveillance, EAS, tag. These thin, flexible tags are often sewn into a seam or placed in a pocket of a garment. They contain a small, resonant circuit. If the tag is not deactivated by the cashier at checkout, it will trigger an alarm at the store's exit. The remove before wearing instruction is because the tag is meant to be temporary and can be scratchy or uncomfortable if left in the garment. What is this? I originally thought it was a scarf, but it's pretty small. It has a strap on one corner. That's a dish towel made by the fashion designer Christian Siriano. He has a line of kitchen and home goods. The small strap or loop on the corner is for hanging the towel on a hook in the kitchen. It is a functional but stylish piece of kitchen linen, designed to be both absorbent for drying dishes and decorative. Left at my home, this is a bladed, rechargeable crafting tool. It has a USB-C charging point and a magnetic back. When buttons are pressed, a tiny angled razor blade and a rough fabric pad come down. When it's turned on, there's a blue light. It's a tool made for sealing plastic bags. This is a 2-in-1 gadget. The part with the tiny razor blade is a bag cutter used to neatly open a bag of chips or other snacks. The other part, with the rough fabric pad, is a heat sealer. When activated, a small heating element gets hot. You then slide this along the open end of the plastic bag, and the heat melts and seals the plastic, resealing the bag to keep the contents fresh. The magnetic back allows it to be conveniently stuck to the refrigerator. What are these 3 metal plates with a hole along our retaining wall? They were there when the wall was created. There are 3 of them, same height from the ground and about 2 feet apart. Those are put in there when they pour the concrete. They are the ends of snap ties, a common component used in concrete formwork. When building a concrete wall, 2 parallel forms are erected, and the concrete is poured between them. Snap ties are metal rods that pass through both forms to hold them together and to maintain a consistent wall thickness. After the concrete has cured, the forms are removed, and the ends of the snap ties that protrude from the wall are snapped off with a hammer, leaving behind these small metal plates flush with the concrete surface. This is a rust-colored powder on a 30-year-old jar of formaldehyde with an octopus in it. Does it indicate that it is leaking? It's rust. A museum worker with a wet collection confirms this. The lid on this type of jar is metal. The gasket that would have provided an airtight seal has long since crumbled. This has allowed the formaldehyde, which is a solution in water, to evaporate slowly over time. This moisture has caused the metal lid to rust from the inside out. The powder you see is this rust that has flaked off. It is a sign that the seal has failed and the specimen is no longer properly preserved. This dry white stuff is on my Tupperware after being in the dishwasher. What is it? Do you put them in the microwave? It's likely from them getting too hot. This white, pitted, or chalky appearance on plastic containers is often caused by overheating in the microwave, especially with greasy or sugary foods that can get extremely hot. This overheating can permanently damage the plastic, causing it to break down and change its texture and appearance. While a dishwasher can also be harsh, this type of damage is most commonly associated with microwave use. Found this in a thrift store. It's a cute little pyramid. Do you think there's a functionality? I most frequently see these used as awkward jewelry boxes. These small, decorative, pyramid-shaped boxes are a common novelty or souvenir item. They are often hinged, and the inside is typically lined with fabric. While they can be used to store any small trinket, they are most commonly used as a unique, if not entirely practical box for holding rings, earrings, or other small pieces of jewelry. They are more of a decorative object than a highly functional storage solution. Thing in my car. It's not a garage door opener, and my family has no clue. What is it? The commenter has the same one. This is a remote starter piece, specifically the fob for an aftermarket remote start system. A remote starter allows you to start your car's engine from a distance, which is great for warming up the car in the winter or cooling it down in the summer before you get in. This small fob, with its 1 or 2 buttons, would be used to send the signal to the receiver in the car to start the engine. It is a separate remote from the car's original key fob. These are 200+ pounds of short 3 3/8 to 4 1/2-inch lengths of chain, found in a basement workshop. There are buckets and boxes full of them. What would they be used for? These are probably for a chain guard on a large mower, also known as a brush hog. A brush hog is a heavy-duty rotary mower that is pulled behind a tractor and is used to cut tall grass, weeds, and thick brush. To prevent rocks, sticks, and other debris from being thrown out at high speed by the rotating blades, these mowers often have a skirt of heavy hanging chains around the deck. This curtain of chains is flexible enough to pass over the brush being cut, but is heavy enough to stop most flying debris. Not exactly a what is it, but a why. I definitely would not be driving around with this on top of my car. This is all about marketing. It's the Dude Wipes equivalent of the Red Bull Mini Cooper. Dude Wipes is a brand of flushable wet wipes marketed towards men. This car, with a giant custom-made replica of their product on the roof, is a promotional vehicle. It acts as a mobile billboard, drawing a huge amount of attention and generating brand awareness wherever it goes. It's a fun and effective, if somewhat over-the-top, advertising strategy. What molecule is this? This is a chemical structure diagram of the molecule serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter, a chemical that carries signals between nerve cells in the brain. It is well known for its role in regulating mood, happiness, and well-being. Due to this association, the serotonin molecule has become a popular symbol, often seen in jewelry, tattoos, and art, representing happiness and mental health. A coin I was given as change in place of a US nickel. What is it? This looks like a 1 baht coin from Thailand. The size, color, and weight of the Thai 1 baht coin are very similar to that of a US quarter, not a nickel, but they can be easily confused and are often found mixed in with US currency. The portrait on the coin is of the King of Thailand. It is a common piece of foreign currency that has found its way into circulation in the US. Tell me it's not what I think it is. I just got back from the gym to be welcome to this. I'm assuming it came from whatever this drain above me is. It looks like the tub backed up. If it had sprayed from the ceiling, the mess would be everywhere. This is a plumbing backup. There is likely a clog in the main drain line that is shared by your apartment and the ones above you. When someone upstairs used their shower or flushed their toilet, the wastewater couldn't go down the clogged main drain, so it was forced to back up through the lowest point in the system, which is often the shower drain in a lower-level apartment. You need to call your landlord or a plumber immediately. Found this thing hanging from a branch on a woodsy island. It kind of looks like a body part. This is the innards of a small mammal, probably a squirrel, a raccoon, or a rabbit that had an encounter with a bird of prey. A hawk, an owl, or another raptor will often take its prey up into a tree to eat it. They will frequently eat the main muscle and organ meat, but will discard the less desirable parts, like the stomach and intestines, which can be left hanging from a branch like this. It is a slightly gruesome but very common sign of the natural predator-prey cycle. Settle this debate. What fruit is this? My kid brought it home from school. I thought some kind of pear, but it doesn't really taste like one. It definitely doesn't taste like an apple. This is an Asian pear, which is also sometimes called an apple pear. It has the shape and the crisp, crunchy texture of an apple, but the flavor and the slight grittiness of a pear. They are a very popular and delicious fruit, known for being very juicy and refreshing. So, in a way, both you and your kid were right. It's a pear that thinks it's an apple. What is this white powder on a newly opened container of Easy Mac? It's supposed to thicken the water, so it's basically cornstarch. In many instant noodle and macaroni products, the cheese sauce is in the form of a powder. This powder mixture contains not only the cheese flavoring, but also a thickening agent, like cornstarch or a modified food starch. When you add the hot water and mix it, this starch absorbs the water and gelatinizes, creating the thick, creamy sauce that coats the noodles. It is a fundamental and harmless ingredient in the sauce mix. What is the metal chunk found under an overpass for rails? This is a cutoff going to the scrapyard. It looks like it was cut with a plasma cutter, as evidenced by the uneven cut and the slag on the backside. This is simply a piece of scrap steel, a remnant from a fabrication or demolition project. It's likely a piece that was cut off a larger steel beam or plate and was then dropped or lost on its way to being recycled. As the commenter notes, it's a whole lot of nothing. What is it, or what happened to it? I found an old joint while cleaning, but when I cracked it open, this is what I found. It looks like it was flour at one point, but now it's all super hard and like crystallized. It's just totally resin from being smoked. The commenter is almost positive that this is a roll from a bunch of roaches. This means it's not an unsmoked joint, but rather a new joint that someone has rolled using the small, unsmoked ends, the roaches, from many previously smoked joints. This material is heavily saturated with condensed tar and resin, which makes it very dark, hard, and sticky. While it looks safe to smoke, it will have a very strong and harsh flavor. Who is this character on my earring? I think that is Mabel Pines from the animated Disney Channel series, Gravity Falls. Mabel is one of the two main protagonists of the show, a hyperactive and optimistic 12-year-old girl who spends her summer with her twin brother Dipper in a mysterious town in Oregon. The character on the earring, with her distinctive sweater, headband, and braces, is a perfect match for the beloved character from that popular and critically acclaimed animated show. Seen today on my bus to college, there were maybe 5 trucks that had these on the back of them, My first assumption was Ferris wheel seats, but I'm not sure. I'm from Edinburgh, so they'll be setting up for the Christmas market. Your first assumption was correct. These are the gondolas or passenger cars for a large, transportable observation wheel. Specifically, it looks like the City Star model. These large Ferris wheels are popular attractions at fairs, festivals, and Christmas markets. The entire structure is designed to be disassembled and transported on a series of trucks, like the ones you saw. They are on their way to be set up as a major attraction for the Edinburgh Christmas market. What is this type of sushi with salmon called in Japanese and English? The only specific sushi name I know is maki. This format of sushi is called nigiri, which means pressed or cradled. Nigiri sushi consists of a small, hand-pressed oblong of vinegared sushi rice with a slice of a topping called the neta placed on top. Salmon in Japanese is seiki. Therefore, the name of this specific dish is sake nigiri. It is one of the most popular and classic forms of sushi. What's on the brick? The wall is located inside, but outside debris can get in. This looks like either honey or tree sap. If there is a beehive located somewhere inside the wall cavity, this could be honey that is leaking out through a crack in the brickwork. Alternatively, if there is a tree growing very close to this wall on the outside, it could be sap from the tree that has dripped down and found its way through a crack to the inside of the wall. Both would have a similar viscous, amber-colored appearance. My friend is from Nepal and says that the milk they drink always leaves a latex thing at the bottom, even when not spoiled. It's normally white. The brown is from the tea they had with it. What is this? A commenter from Nepal explains this perfectly. In Nepal, they often drink fresh, unprocessed milk that is very rich in fat. When this milk is boiled, some of the milk solids and fat can stick to the bottom of the pot and form a slightly scorched, delicious layer called kuroni. The same thing happens when making milk tea. A skin of milk fat and protein forms on top and can settle at the bottom. It is a completely normal and often enjoyed byproduct of boiling rich, non-homogenized milk. This is a steel weight with a hinged tip. It was brought home by my son. It's solid steel, has the remains of a light chain at the top, and the hinged part at the bottom can turn 90 degrees. What is it? This is a drop nose securing pin. It is a type of quick-release pin used to secure equipment, especially in agricultural or towing applications. The main pin is passed through the holes of whatever needs to be secured. The hinged tip at the end then drops down to a 90-degree angle due to gravity, which prevents the pin from falling out. The light chain would have been used to tether the pin to the machinery so it wouldn't be lost when it was removed. It is a simple but effective and secure type of fastening pin. Any idea what this is? Some type of tech. This is a Flipper Zero Bluetooth Wi-Fi board. The Flipper Zero is a very popular, portable, multi-tool device for pen testers and electronics hobbyists. This specific board is an add-on module for the Flipper Zero. It is based on an ESP32 chip, which provides Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities. This extends the Flipper Zero's range and output power, allowing it to perform more advanced wireless hacking, testing, and experimentation from a greater distance. This is probably super normal, but what is this? Seen east of Artesia, NM, around 7 p.m., moving north to south. It disappeared before the horizon. This is a SpaceX rocket taking off from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. This is another example of the twilight phenomenon. Even though you are in New Mexico, hundreds of miles away, and it is dark on the ground, the rocket at its very high altitude is still illuminated by the setting sun. The sunlight catches the rocket's exhaust plume, causing it to expand and glow spectacularly in the upper atmosphere. The apparent slow, silent movement is due to the immense distance and altitude. Found this black circle half stuck to a stall. I pulled it off, cracked it open, and it looks like a non-transmitting RFID tag. Am I right? It does appear to be an RFID-like tag. RFID stands for radio frequency identification. These tags contain a small chip and an antenna. The simplest ones are passive, like this one, meaning they have no battery. They are powered up and read by a nearby RFID reader. They are used for a huge variety of applications, from inventory tracking and access control to payment systems. This one, a simple, low-cost tag, was likely used for some sort of asset tracking or access control within the building. This is a symbol on an integrated circuit. The model number is LM1875T. Above the model number is an S-type symbol. What does it mean? The LM1875T is an audio power amplifier IC that was originally owned and manufactured by a company called National Semiconductor. That strange S logo is the logo of National Semiconductor. Texas Instruments later acquired National Semiconductor, but continued to produce many of their popular chips. The other numbers are internal lot and date codes. The key identifier is that logo, which tells you the original designer of the chip. Seen this sticker across the street from a friend's house, and we are all stumped. Any thoughts? This is the symbol of the Jedi Knights from the Star Wars universe. It is the insignia of the Jedi Order, an ancient, monastic, and peacekeeping organization. The symbol, which depicts a winged lightsaber, represents the Jedi's role as protectors of peace and justice in the galaxy. The owner of the car is simply a fan of the Star Wars franchise and is displaying the symbol of their favorite fictional order. Found in a drawer at my grandmother's, it's a tiny key ring with small metal wedges with numbers and letters on them. They're not for ID. You use these when you lose your original car keys. These are key code tags. The numbers and letters on the small metal tag are the code that a car dealership or a locksmith would use to cut a new, perfectly matching key for your car without needing the original key to copy. People are supposed to keep this tag in a safe place, separate from their keys. Your grandmother was very organized. Found in a parking lot after a super windy day. I'm assuming something cosmetic related. What is it? This is an eyebrow trimmer or a facial razor. It is a small, single-blade razor, specifically designed for shaping eyebrows and removing fine facial hair, peach fuzz. They are a very common and inexpensive cosmetic tool. Its discovery in a parking lot after a windy day suggests it may have been blown out of an open purse or a car. This came in a lamp from Mac.bid. I don't think it has anything to do with the lamp. What is it? This is a tire inflator hose, likely from a small portable air compressor unit. The threaded end would screw onto the compressor's outlet, and the other end, with the lever-style chuck, is designed to clamp onto the valve stem of a car tire for inflation. Mac.bid is an auction site for returned and overstock merchandise, so it's very common for small, unrelated items like this to be accidentally included in the box with a larger item like a lamp. This is a port on most car bumpers. The plastic cover is gone, revealing this hole. I see it on many Japanese cars. What is it for? This is for a tow hook. Most modern cars have a threaded hole hidden behind a small pop-out cover in the bumper, where a heavy-duty, forged steel tow hook can be screwed in. The tow hook itself is usually stored with the spare tire and jack. In the event the car needs to be towed out of a ditch or pulled onto a flatbed tow truck, this provides a strong, safe, and designated attachment point that will not damage the car's bumper or frame. What is this little spiral thingy in my digital cameras for? I was thinking some sort of connector, but the spiral in the silver one is plastic, so I don't think so. This is the threaded hole for a standard tripod mount. It is a universally standardized size, a 1/4-20 thread, 1/4 inch diameter, 20 threads per inch. This allows almost any camera to be attached to almost any tripod, monopod, or other camera mounting accessory. The spiral is simply the threads of this standard mounting socket, which is a fundamental feature on the bottom of virtually every camera. What type of key is this? I was cleaning out my junk drawer and found this key, but for the life of me, I can't recall what it's for. It's a key to reset a combination padlock, particularly a CASP brand 117 series lock or a similar model. On these resettable combination locks, you need to use a special tool or a key like this one to put the lock into a change mode. You would open the lock with the old combination, insert this key and turn it, which would then allow you to set a new combination. After the new combination is set, you would remove the key and the lock would be ready to use with the new code. This is part of my keychain. I know it's got a bottle opener, but I have no idea what else this thing is supposed to do. The hook is for opening doors that pull, and the point is for pushing elevator buttons. These were very popular during the COVID lockdown. It is a no-touch or hygiene tool. The idea was to allow the user to interact with high-touch public surfaces like door handles, keypads, and elevator buttons without having to touch them directly with their hands, thus reducing the potential for germ transmission. The bottle opener is just an added convenience feature. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.